Hi, this is Dave Chenault with Skylight Systems, and in this video I'm going to walk you through SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. This video is going to show you all the capabilities that we've built around an app that's now hosted in SharePoint. It can be installed into Office 365 or on-premise on your SharePoint 2013 servers. And it's very easy to install. You just go to the marketplace, you click on it, buy a number of licenses, and install it into a team site that you've set up to host it. And it's on in a few minutes. Now I'm going to take you through different capabilities in the system, including the main modules and how to add contacts, how to add in accounts, opportunities, etc. And then there'll be additional videos in this series showing you more things in depth, things like multiple languages, some of the integration we have with scanning and the Office products, etc. So let's get started. What you'll see on this first page is the home page showing open tasks assigned to you and open opportunities that you're working. Let's look at an opportunity now. I do that by simply clicking on the title of the opportunity, and I can see here it's 450 and ABC Lock and Key is who it's for. And I can see there's a task, notes, and no documents, and an account tab here as well. This is how I navigate through the system. Okay. I also have a person associated, this guy Lyndon, and I can click on it to get more information about him. Or I can see tasks associated with this particular opportunity by clicking on the Task tab. And you'll see here it says call Lyndon to follow up on the bearing order. If I want to see more information about the account, ABC Lock and Key, I simply click on that tab. Now when I come into the account screen, I'm going to see information about multiple opportunities associated with this account, as well as documents, notes, tasks, etc., for all of the different opportunities and all of the different people associated with this particular account. So let's come up now, and I'll see I've got 9 documents and contacts, etc. Let's look at some of the documents. This is very interesting because what you'll see is I have, for those familiar with SharePoint, it's a doc library I'm exposing here. And I have scan files, I have Excel files, I have emails, etc. And we'll talk about that integration in some more depth on this video and other videos in the series. Let's look at a quote that's in Excel. When I click on that, it's going to launch, of course, the Excel Office web app for viewing this within the browser. And I can edit it, etc. Now it's very easy to add something. I just click on my new item, and I can browse for a document to add into my account, just like you would with any other SharePoint application out there or site. So I'll just take a second here to browse through my C drive. And I could pick a file and upload it, etc. So let's go ahead and close that. Now I can also look at different opportunities. Let's click on the opportunities. And the environment here I'm running in is Office 365. So I'm doing a lot of things on my PC. I'm recording the screen, and that induces a little bit of lag. But you can see that it's very responsive when I click on things. And I can see I've got opportunities 1, 2, and 3. And just clicking on opportunity 3, it'll bring me information about that opportunity. And I can see if there's any tasks or notes or documents associated with that, and also if there's any people. So I'll go back to the account. And let's look at the tabs across the top here. I've got opportunities, tasks, notes, documents, and additional contacts beyond the main contact. I can also click on this edit, and this lets me go in and edit information about this particular account. So if I wanted to do things like, oh, I don't know, let's change the address to 2001 California Street, and I want to copy that into my billing address. I just click that on and off, and it copies everything from here automatically, and I'll save this. So again, you can see the speed of the system. It's very fast, it's very fluid, easy to use, and it's supposed to be intuitive, especially for people that are familiar with SharePoint. And let's look at that in a little more detail. So we come in now to the home page again, and let's say I want to add an account. Well, how do I do that? I just use my drop down, and I'll be presented with a blank screen that'll have some fields on it. The ones with a red star are ones that are required. So I'll just do another new test. And then I can go ahead and add in additional information. Right now I'm fine with what I've got here. And let's say I wanted then to put an opportunity associated with this. So it'll take just a second to redraw my screen, and when it comes up, I'll select the opportunities to create a new one. So if I select Create New Opportunity, what you'll see is I'll have a new screen for creating the opportunity, and I'll select the account and associate it with that opportunity. So I'll give it a name. And then I can select the amount. It's 467. The probability is 50%. The account, I just hit the select button. There's my another new test account. My main contact, I can select that person. In this case, I won't, but I could just select a person there when I expect it to close. And then any comments, it's a new opportunity. And you get the idea. So I have all my red fields filled out. I hit save. And now when I come into my opportunity list, I will see this listed there. And let's look at that. So there it is on the top of my list here of new opportunities. But let's take a look at the list itself and see what we can do. It's pretty interesting. So what's nice is that I can go in here and select different, you can see different titles. When I select the drop down, what you'll see is I have all of the different opportunities listed that I'm able to see. And if I select new opportunity, it'll show just that one filtered for me. And I can go through and clear that filter. And I can see all of them again. And I can do that pretty much on any of these headers up here. So I'll come over to account and do the same thing. It'll take a second to populate all of them. And I could say, oh, let me see if I've got anything for SaveMart. And there it is. So it's very easy to move around the system using these filters rather than having to scroll a lot. There's information about SaveMart. Let's look at the account. And I hope you're starting to see how the system sort of works now. You can click around using these different tabs, etc., very easily. So creating items is very easy in the system. You just use the drop down where it says Add New, which you'll see from the home page here as soon as this refreshes, or the Create New. You can create new notes and opportunities and tasks, but you could also do that if I come into my account screen. There's an extra place you can do this as well. So let's do it the second way. So I'll come in, I'll go to another new test account. And I can also say I wanted to go to an opportunity. And I could just select the add new item here as well. So a couple ways to add things into the system. I can either do it using my drop down, or I can do it from within each of the modules, just as I'm showing you here. Okay, so that's very interesting, good stuff. Let's look at some of the reports that are built into the system as well. We've got a pipeline report, and let's run this. And I'll put down that I want to see pipeline for the year 2014. We'll run the report, and we can see we have a lot of sales going on in October of that year. Let's run a different report, pipeline by owner. And let's pick 2014 again. And these reports, you can see I have different things going on throughout the year. Now, what you can see here is these reports are very rich. We've got 4 built in. If you need additional reports, get in touch with us and we can help you build virtually any graphical report you could imagine. But rather than doing sort of fancy graphical reports, you can build reports very easily in the system by making a new view. And let's look at how that works in the system. If you're familiar at all with SharePoint, then this will be something you've done probably many times. Let's go to Accounts. And the first thing we'll do is we're going to look at this view and we're going to try and modify it. This may take a second to bring up the screen. But if I say modify the view, you can see all the different fields I have available in the view, right? So I could say, let's see if there's a fax number for any of these. I'm going to throw that onto the end. I could also filter it. I can group it. I can total it, etc. It's very nice. I could do group it by. Let's pick that. I can create groups and subgroups. So there's a great capability here built in to do reports as views, and then you can just print those out. Now you can see here I've got a fax number that I've added into the last column just by selecting it. But it makes it look kind of ugly, so I'm going to take that out. Let's go to modify that view again. Let's get rid of fax and say OK. And it'll be gone. It'll take just a second. So now we're fine. We also have this out of business. It looks like nobody uses that. Let's take that one out too. Now let's say I wanted to find the accounts that are only in California. So we'll let this refresh here for a minute. What I'll do is I'm going to filter based upon the state that I have in that list view. And that's very handy. You'll see the power of these list views that are built into SharePoint. So if I just come over to here, select the drop down, and I select California, now I can say, hey, here's all the accounts that I have in California that I'm able to see. Okay, so very powerful stuff. Some of the other great features we have is a nice and rich integration with Outlook. So in this case, let's say I had this important email from Microsoft that came in, and I want to save that into SideKick. So I can save my login credentials, but I haven't in this case because I want to see what I do. Here's the link to our app, and I'll put in the name of the user. And let me go ahead and log in here. And what will happen now is I'm going to see all of the accounts that I'm able to see and the opportunities. And I can say I want to save that email into opportunity 1. So I just hit the upload button. And it'll copy the email from my Outlook box into that opportunity. So let's take a look at that. So that was opportunity 1 over here. I think it was in this side. Let's just see, I've got 2 open. I'm going to show you something in a minute. Let's go to opportunity 1. And let's look at the documents associated with opportunity 1 and the account as well. So I'll take just a second here. And we're going to go to that tab that says documents. And there's now a document associated with this opportunity. And it should be that email that I just saved. Let's go take a look. And there it is. And I can just double click to open it up and see that email. Now what's really great is now anybody that has access to this opportunity or this account is going to have the ability to see that important email that came in, right? So very powerful, and we have this integration built in with Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and Outlook, and that comes with the product. It's included in the price. Now let's look at the account again. I want to look at a few other things. And when I click on the Documents tab, now I see there's 10. So if you notice last time there was 9, we've rolled up this additional new email. And when I click on the Account Documents tab, I should see that important message from Microsoft. This is the one that just came in. And I can also see other documents. Here's a nice spreadsheet. Here's scanned images. Here's a voice message because I have integration with Link. Here's a record of an outgoing call. So the idea is there's a very rich ecosystem that's associated with all of the Office applications that I can integrate into this. Now the next thing I want to talk about is security profiles. And what you'll see is I have these different profiles, an Alan S profile, a Brad S profile, and I have different groups. These groups are actually behind the scenes. They're SharePoint groups that are associated with this particular profile. So let's go look at that. And what it'll show me is that I can see that the Alan S group or the Alan S edit group, these are different people that can either read or edit anything that's owned by the Alan S profile. So let's look at that in the system. Let's go over here, and you see how I have these different profiles assigned to these different accounts, right? Now, this user is logged in as someone who can read and edit items owned by the Alan S profile. I have another user who's called Brad, and Brad is logged in under a different profile. When he comes into the system, he's only going to see accounts that are associated with the Brad S profile. And let's look at that. Take just a second here. I've got a couple of browser sessions open, and this guy is logged in as Brad S. So let's see how that looks. So if you notice here, this person sees different accounts, right? Only the Brad S profile, except these. These are seen by both users because there is no profile. So the way it works is when you create a new account or a contact opportunity, you assign a profile to it if you want to limit who can see it. And this is great because it lets you set up sales teams, districts. You can manage very complex organizations because let's say you had 30 or 40 salespeople. You don't want them to have to wade through opportunities for 30 people. You want them to be able to focus on their accounts, their opportunities. Or if you're a manager, you want to see the different opportunities and accounts that your people are working on. So you simply set up different profiles, you create SharePoint groups, and you assign people to those groups, and the system automatically will filter out for you who can see what. And it's doing it using SharePoint permissions. And so in this case, if I'm logged in as Brad and I type in ABC and do a search, let's see what I can see. Well, nothing matches, right? Because Brad does not have rights to see the ABC lock and key. Now let's go back over to Alan. And Alan's logged in. And let's type in ABC and see what comes up. So Alan can see a lot of things. And just to double check that, let's go back over here and put in the space. And you see nothing comes up, right? No ABC, no A space B, base B, etc., right? So nothing comes up, nothing matches, and that's because, again, we're using security profiles to trim who can see what in the system. So let's go on back and finish up. The last thing I want to talk about is just the expandability. So the way the system is built is we have additional fields behind the scenes, and these fields are set up so that you can add in custom fields. Let's take a look at that. Let's go to Accounts. And when I come into Accounts, I'm going to look at my views again, and I'm going to modify it. And what I'm going to do is take a look down here and look for a couple of additional fields. So you'll see here I have choice field 1, choice field 2. If I scroll down, I've got date field 1, 2. I've got a few other things, numbers fields 1 through 4, and then text. These are extra fields we've built in, and so if you need to add in some customization to your environment that's not included, let's say you want to track a district, or let's say you wanted to add an additional field to opportunities, get in touch with us and we'll help you customize the screens, and we have these fields sitting behind the scenes ready to go for you. Okay, so that's a very quick demo. I'm going to have additional videos in this series that'll go into more depth on security, on integration with Office, scanning, but this should give you a nice overview of the capabilities of SideKick365 xRM Enterprise. Now, if you want to try it out, we have a demo environment for you. Just email us at info@skylightsystems.com, and it's SKYLITESYSTEMS.com, all one word, info@skylightsystems.com. Send us an email. We'll send you back a tour guide and login so you can try this in Office 365 yourself. Thanks for your time today.